Can't film without my lip gloss. That's just inhumane. Hello, my party people. Welcome or welcome back. It's Courtney. This has been a very nice week. We had the holiday. I hope your holiday went well. Mine, I worked, unfortunately, but you know what? I'm gonna push past through it. Made some money. Can't go wrong with that. This is the second episode of my weekly series in which I tell you about products I've had the fortunate opportunity to review and talk about some books. So let's get started. The first product is a caramel cold brew. I talked about this on my sprint on 4th of July. It is a oat milk latte with lion's mane. Definitely bitter. I mixed it with some almond milk and I got that through. Pretty good. Another product I have is melatonin. For any of you who have trouble sleeping, this is the bomb.com. I think it's great, especially if you work a night shift and you have trouble sleeping during the day. Just take a few little drops of this on your tongue. We're not going to do it now because I don't need to sleep. 30 minutes, fast acting, get your life. This one is one of those face rollers. Really good. I like it when it's a bit chilled. It kind of soothes your face. I've been having a lot of breakouts lately, so this I feel like really soothes my face. It's supposed to help you with wrinkles. I haven't seen any difference yet. I don't know. I think it's pretty. Another product that I really like is I'm a big fan of fake tattoos because I don't need any more permanent little ones. And these are really cool. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but these come with individual sheets instead of that big sheet that you gotta cut. What I like about these is that they don't have that shiny border around the entire sheet. It's just the tattoo, which is really cool. I'm gonna put, does it say Deborah? I don't need Deborah on my arm. Okay. I got this flower one here. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, either way, I'm gonna put this on. You just put it on right here. So I have compressed enough. This is a wet towel. And let's see what happens. Gonna peel that off. Bam! I got a tattoo there. This lasts for about, I don't know, for me about 4 to 5 days. I've had pretty good luck, so rocking it out. This is a foot peel. This will change your life. This will get your feet ready for the sandals and the flip-flops and all the stuff for the summer. So it's basically a little footy. 2 feet right here. You cut the top, you stick your feet into these little booties. And then your feet will kind of marinate for about, I do about an hour. And then when you take it off, rinse your feet off, about 2 days your feet will start peeling. And I guarantee you within about 5 to 6 days after all that craziness starts peeling off, your feet will be nice and smooth. Now if your dogs are, you know, pretty rough, you might need to do a few of these. I think this came as a 3-pack, but it's just a foot peel. You can buy any one. They all kind of do the same thing. It's just a really strong acid, but it makes your feet really nice. I do these a few times a year. Now my favorite part of this series is book reviews. So this week I got the chance to read 2 books. I'm actually still in the middle of Woman in the Woods, so that'll be on my next video. Both of these I got through NetGalley. One of them is a true arc because it has not come out, but the other one has already come out. So Blood, Metal, and Bone. It's a YA fantasy, and it follows a girl named Sonara who is an outcast. She is actually the daughter of a queen, but she's considered a bastard because no one knows who her father is. How that is, I have no idea. Don't ask me any questions, but they don't know who her dad is. And she is hanging with her brother who is the true heir to the kingdom, and she witnesses him getting kidnapped by some spaceship. And so she runs to tell everybody, and then they accuse her of murdering him and sentence her to death. Now, the way they kill her is some like crazy, interesting, weird way. I was just dumbfounded. This book alone for that is the reason you should read it. Anyway, so she comes back alive as a shadow blood in which she bleeds black blood, and she hooks up with this whole other gang of shadow bloods that they spend 10 years going around throughout different kingdoms thieving and stealing things, doing what's called jobs for people. Now, she takes this job with the other shadow bloods in which they're going to help overthrow the king of one of these kingdoms. And it has some sort of repercussions with the planet that they're on. And then she comes face to face with the ship that stole her brothers, and she's looking for answers. Now, this was a really good book. It had a lot of different plot twists, and then there was a lot of actions. Now, I did find that there was a really good amount of world building, which was really cool. But there was tons of characters and a lot of different locations. So it was a bit confusing, and there is a bit of a legend, I guess, at the beginning of the book, but I found that once I got into a little pace and get into the books, then I really didn't need that legend to figure out who's who and where they were from. I did like the found family trope and also that balance between good and evil, and you definitely have a really strong female character in this book, and she's badass. She's not all good and she's not all evil, and I appreciate that, and her magic was really interesting too. So overall, really good book. I enjoyed it. The second book I read is called Hooked. Hooked comes out July 12th, so right around the corner. Now, this is labeled as a dark sci-fi fantasy. I consider it more like a dark psychological suspense fantasy because it was really slow and very introspective, although you did have some action, and I think the time travel elements a little bit is what probably labels it as sci-fi. But Hooked follows an aging Captain Hook who is no longer in Neverland. He's in London, and he allies with Wendy and her daughter Jane because all of these murders start happening in London, and they believe it has something to do with Peter Pan and his famous beasts. Now, I thought that this book was really slow moving, and while it was interesting, it wasn't the action-packed adventure that I was expecting. I felt that it was a lot more sentimental and nostalgic compared to the Tale of Peter Pan, which is full of sword fights and stuff. Although you did have some of that towards the end. With this book, you got to see the vulnerable side of Captain Hook, aka James, that you don't really normally get to see in the book. And you learn about his personal life, which I did not know. I definitely learned some stuff, I will say. But this book really endeared me to Captain Hook a lot, and I'll probably never think about him the same. I will say that. I will say that Wendy's daughter Jane really pissed me off through most of the book. Get your life. And I did get a different sense of Peter Pan than I ever thought before. There was a really interesting line in the book. It said, Neverland was meant as a paradise for one boy holding everyone else as prisoners to his whim. So that's definitely an interesting idea about the whole fairy tale of Peter Pan. I think that this book explains a lot of the whys in the Peter Pan fairy tale. Why is this? Why is that? But overall, really good book. It has some sexism in it. You also had some LGBTQ elements, and you also had substance abuse. So those may be triggers for some people. But overall, really good tale. I really enjoyed it. I just felt that it was slow moving. But that is all the books that I have today. I am in the process of reading some. I may have 3 or 4 next time. But great week. Get back to some products. Let me see if I can tattoo myself up a little bit more. And I hope you have a great day. Be well and be safe. And if you have any leftover fireworks, pop them responsibly. Bye-bye.